This is yours? Why on earth is your cupcake on my chair?
Because it's very special to me, so I can put it wherever I want. This is your fault. Now you have to buy me a new cupcake.
You're wearing a wedding dress to my wedding.
This is not a wedding dress. It's a white floor-length gown. It's very different.
Did it come with a veil?
No, it came with a headdress.
What?
It's the Al Travis Show. We've got our Senator Karin Housley on the program with the Senator. How are you?
I am good. What was that little intro from?
I have no idea.
I don't even know that. Oh, okay. I was like, I'd never heard that wedding dress little thing. I'm good.
The young man that does those for me sometimes just goes with things from his age group. I hate it. I like the Casablanca ones, but to keep us relevant, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go Google it to find out what.
Yeah, is that my buddy Phil back there?
Can you see him back there?
Well, it's either that or very large orangutan is movie. It's all fuzzed out in the background. So
he's back there. We're up at the lake. We just closed up our cabin. As soon as I'm done talking to you, we're in the car and we're going back home because we turned the water off like now.
Okay.
And so we've got it all packed
up. It's like
up.
90 degrees last weekend. You're turning the water off?
Well, it's October. It is October. Hockey starts Tuesday. So yeah.
And who are we pulling for with the hockey? Bring the hockey up.
You know what? I don't know. I know on Tuesday night the New York Rangers play the Pittsburgh Penguins, and one of our former New York Rangers coaches is now the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Dan Muse. So we're cheering for Dan Muse and the Pittsburgh Penguins on Tuesday.
How weird is it for you guys with your husband having played for some teams and then coached for some teams and have friends on teams? You've got, I mean, I go with Minnesota. Okay. You know, I got nothing. You guys have all those ties. Does it make it kind of rough to decide who you really want to win game to game?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, because you have your whole list of teams that you really don't want to win ever. Like they're in that. We hope you're all at the bottom of the list. So we just cheer against them. And then like the Wild, we have had no connections with the Minnesota Wild. So they're always at the top. They're at the top. Like we want the Wild to win because they're our home team.
Sure.
And then there's some that we do care about. We've got friends like Pittsburgh. We had no ties with Pittsburgh, but now we have Dan Muse. So we want him. Yeah. So there's always a connection somewhere, but there's the bad list that we hope lose every game.
Fair enough. Well, we'll start our conversation about hockey here next week. As I understand it, you were in Ireland for the big game. Well, I think you were in Ireland having a vacation, but you went to the game, the Viking game 2 weeks ago?
I did. That's why I couldn't be on your show last Monday because I was just hopping on a plane. Yes, we went. Former Senator Amy Koch and her husband and former Senator Carla Bigham and her husband and Phil and I, we all went over there. And it was so fun. We had never been to Ireland. Phil,
as much as you travel, you've never been to Ireland?
Never been.
Wow.
Had done everything around except Scotland and Iceland. Those two. I don't know if the Vikings are ever going to go there. But yeah, I'd never been there, and it was so pretty. And people really like to drink a lot of beer. There's like pubs. There's pubs within pubs. Like you just keep going through a pub, and then there's another pub in that pub. Yeah, it's funny. Crazy. Yeah, I had my first Guinness beer ever. So did Phil. We'd never had a Guinness before. And did you think, like looking at the darkness of the Guinness beer, like you thought it had a huge alcohol content?
Yeah, it really doesn't.
No, it's 4%.
Yeah,
like
and
nothing.
that's why it's so smooth. Yeah, they burn it out. I don't know how they take care of that, but it's a great beer. So I find that hard to believe you haven't. But let me ask you this: when it comes to the game, you've been to Viking games here at home, around the country, I presume. How are they, as far as fans go, compared to like normal fans? I guess Minnesota fans.
So it was weird because it was much different between London. I went to London last year, and then this year Ireland. In Ireland, it was mostly like at least half the stadium were Americans. Like they said 40,000 people came to Ireland for the game. 40,000 Americans flew over for it. But in London last year, it was crazy because a lot of people from London were there. Mostly, like probably 80% were from London. They just wear any NFL jersey, like Tampa Bay, they wear New England, doesn't matter who's actually playing the game. So this game in Ireland, it was either the Minnesota Vikings colors or the Eagles. It wasn't the Eagles, it was Philadelphia. Who did we play?
We played the Browns.
Browns. No, we didn't. That was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, 2 weeks ago. Sorry.
It was Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh,
yes.
It was black
and Pittsburgh
gold,
has a big following in Berlin, as I understand, are in Ireland because the owner was second generation from Ireland.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why they made that a home game for him or something. I don't.
Well, and that was kind of a bummer because in London we were the home game, so we got to do our Skol chant and everything. Well, we tried to do it in Ireland, and they just turned the music on and drowned us out. Yeah, they did not let us do it. Yeah,
really. Well, that's
it was
not cool.
so much more fun when you're the home game in another country. So, and then they weren't the home game in London yesterday either. They both were away games. So,
see, but what is nice about that must give us 2 more games here at home in our own stadium, right? I mean, if you're going to get your balance. So I don't know how that worked out good for us.
that's exactly why they did it. Yep.
Okay.
They were like, okay, if we're going to go over there, we get 2 more at home. So I don't know if the Vikings are going to do it next year. I'm hearing Germany, but I think all 6 of us are back in for another trip because you do all your touristy stuff around whatever country you're in, and then you like go back and be your American football team right in the middle of your vacation. So it was so fun. Highly recommend Ireland.
Just side question. Obviously, you get along very well with Amy Koch. You've been friends for a long time. I know that. The Bingham, you've been friends with her for a while, the senator? Is that who you said?
I've been friends with Carla Bingham forever, too. Isn't that funny?
But how do the husbands get along? How does my buddy Phil and the rest? I mean, it's on the radio. You know what I'm saying? My wife has some great friends. Great. The guys get along. We're fine. But I don't know if I'd go on vacation with them.
You know what? I think they got along great. Amy's new husband, they just got married on Saturday. I was the officiant at their wedding back here in Minnesota. That was the first time Phil had met Clint. Actually, Amy's only known Clint for a little over a year. But they got along great. They both golfed. They did a lot of golf courses, so they got along great. And we've got some other trips planned. So I think it was. Cool. I think it was a success.
That helps out quite a little bit. Like I say, my wife doesn't necessarily have to get along with my friends' wives. It just works out well when it happens, right? I mean, that's good.
Right. It was good. Especially it was fun. New friends.
And have you said anything about the actual Viking game itself against the Browns? Did you watch it yesterday?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're up here at the lake, and hang on. Can you be quiet, Beth?
Come on, Phil, buddy.
I'm like, he's emptying up the refrigerator.
Doing some radio, Phil. Just doing a little radio.
We have no cable up here because everything's been turned off. So I had my phone. I had my Hulu on my phone, and I airplayed it to the TV. But it still was a little shaky. So every once in a while, the screen would go blank, and then we'd be back at the national anthem with that woman. She was great. But I saw it like 72 times yesterday because it kept going back. That game yesterday was so fun, and I was just so happy I could get it on my TV instead of having to go to the Legion. It was a good game, and you were at church, and you waited until after?
So this is what I'd like to ask you, because I think my wife might be wrong here, but she's probably right. So we have to go to church. I got my church group. Hadn't met him the week before. I was gone guy weekend, so I'm going to do church group. So I tape the game, fine, but I know I can't pick up my phone. One of my friends is going to put a text in. It's going to be in the Facebook. Someone's going to tell me how the game's going. So I literally put my phone aside in the kitchen, and I didn't have it from, 8:20 in the morning until I get back at noon, and then I couldn't pick it up because now I'm watching the game. I don't think I had my phone literally with me for like 6 or 7 hours. It was a little weird because I would be during the game, texting like this. The other thing, and this is the thing, it's a fashion thing, so I ask. So I have my good luck outfit. It's not so strange. My Viking socks, my bib overalls, my old Peterson jersey, and felt I should wear it. And I come downstairs, head to church, and my wife put the Knicks on it. She says, "You're not wearing that to church." I said, "But the game's on. They need me. They need my luck." So I had to change because I don't run my life. And I come home and the game's already over, so there's really no sense to put it on. I mean, God and my jersey aren't going to change something that's already happened. So I sit down and watch and we won. Is the luck of my jersey gone? I'm perplexed.
I think for Sunday morning churches, yes, the look of the jersey is gone because you had to weigh.
But it's with bib overalls, so I mean, it's almost classed up with the bib overalls.
No, that's not classed up, Al. No, it's not classed up.
I live in farm country. This is old school farmer going to church stuff. This was cool.
Did anybody else in church have their stuff on?
No, remarkably no.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking about it, I don't see a lot of bibs either.
But no, the luck of the jersey, you got to put it back on for regular noon or 3 o'clock games. Yeah, you definitely have to get the outfit back on.
Thank you for that, because I really thought maybe I ruined it. Okay,
No,
good.
just
See,
Sunday
that's why I'm
morning.
glad you're here. But you're with my wife on Sunday church dress. Okay, we'll get that done. I got to go to break. We'll be back after this with more. Was Senator Karin Housley.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach. At Midwest Money Management, our mission is to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to feel comfortable financially today and secure about tomorrow. Learn more at MidwestMoneyManagement.com. That's MidwestMoneyManagement.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial Inc. and JW Cole Advisors Inc. are unaffiliated entities.
As in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
And we've got our Senator Karin Housley on with us, a great football mind. I ask you, do we have a quarterback controversy in Minnesota? Oh. Wentz did fine. They're saying JJ's going to be back. He's our guy. But now, it might have been a worse strain than we thought. We'd like to give him a whole week to get, up and running after he's at full speed. Sure sounds like to me that they may just be having second thoughts on pulling Wentz. Your thoughts?
Remember, we talked about this like 3 weeks ago when Carson Wentz came in that first game, and he's playing great. I think we do have a bit of and I think it would probably behoove them, I love that word, if they kept Wentz in, because I think there'd be some fans upset, and he's on a roll. You never pull a winning goalie. I don't think you ever should pull a winning quarterback. He just came off a great win. I don't know. What do you think? I think they should go with Wentz.
I'm going with Wentz until he falters. This is, he's the Eagles. That's his old squad. He'll have some want to do well there. You should have a better front line in front of him. Whatever's, Darasol should be back. Start getting people back. I say you let it go and let this kid learn. I know that'll tick him off, but you know what? You got hurt, kid. You pulled yourself out of the game. This is what happens. I think you got to stay with Wentz until Wentz doesn't work anymore.
I absolutely. I hope they do. Because then the pressure on JJ, if he comes back when Wentz is winning, it's going to be. And if he doesn't win his first game back, then there's a lot of drama.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Golden Bachelor started. I'm trusting you're not trying to follow along. I just even watching the commercials for it. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
I wonder how many people are watching it. No, I'm not. And I was wondering if you were too, because I saw the commercials and I was like, I think I'm going to pass this year because last year was a little sickening, and just the commercials for it are like, nah.
Yeah. I wonder who falls for that. Anyway, one last thing, if I can. You were probably not back. Well, you must have been back Friday because you did the officiating on Saturday. But Friday, the news broke of another little scandal, and I thought I got lost when I was reading that it was something I was not putting together with one of the other frauds or scandals in the state of Minnesota. But this is new and fresh. $20 million given to nonprofit organizations that aren't registered with the state. They're not even registered nonprofits. They just said they were, so we mailed them checks. I'm just kind of done with it. I'm mad. I'm so scorching mad that my friends, when I talked about it at the golf course, were like, "Oh, is that just part of the feeding?" No, this is new. Oh, well, it's just $20 million. Why is that okay? How is there any way in the world there's a state that just says, "Oh, you said you're a nonprofit? You didn't fill the paperwork out? We'll send you a check anyway." $20 million worth. And am I too stupid to get in this game? Al's Human Fund.
We didn't miss that boat because it's still going on. I can't even believe it's still going on after the hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud that goes right before Governor Walz's eyes, and it continues to happen. And this latest one, I'm wondering if Minnesota's listening to your golf buddies, if they just go, "Oh yeah, is that part of the other thing?" Like, there's every single day more fraud under Governor Walz, more fraud, that you just sort of go, you just are numb to it, and instead you're like contemplating watching The Golden Bachelor.
Really close. I'm old enough to remember when $20 million was a lot of money. So now it's nowhere near 250. It's like we got a new benchmark. If you're not stealing at least 250 million from us, people aren't paying attention. And my point being is, how many of these? They did $100K. They did 250. No one's going to go after me for $250,000. How many people are doing that because it's such small potatoes? No one really will care,
right? And that's exactly what is happening. So many small potatoes that they just brush it under the rug and go, "Oh, whoops, we kind of messed up on that." But where's the accountability? Who is it? One of the agencies that had committed a lot of fraud. Now, whoever was in charge over there, they don't get fired. Nobody ever gets fired. Nobody's ever held accountable. They now have another job over at another agency, and they just
with the exact same salary. Absolutely.
Yep. So,
but what clears that, Senator? What fixes that? It's so annoying. I don't get to write the laws. I don't get to give the money out. I just see it or get my money stolen. How do we fix it? In the last 90 seconds.
Well, there's an election coming up in November of 2026. I think if we could get rid of Governor Walz and have somebody who really does hold these agencies and the commissioners of these agencies accountable, we have the committee that Representative Kristen Robbins is trying to go through all of that, but then right before the day of the hearing, that's when they let somebody go, so they can't even testify because they know stuff and they do have information where we could pull it out from them. So I mean, in my eyes, it's getting rid of Governor Walz because this is not a priority for him. It's off traveling the country trying to figure out if he should still run for president or running a 10K and tweeting about it. So fraud is not on the top of his list right now.
Well, and it's to mine. I even if you got rid of the governor, I want the commissioners gone. When they're gone, I want to go through everybody who wrote checks to nonprofits that didn't even exist. We don't even have that checks and balance. When you write a check to somebody, will you see if they're a business?
Well, and you would think our state auditor would maybe audit But that's not
Thank
what
you.
our state auditor does. She does nothing. That's a position that should just be gone.
Yeah.
We need an outside company to come in and audit the state of Minnesota and find out where it all is, because it'd be a lot worse than what we know already.
Well, let's just throw the Attorney General under the bus then as well, because none of this is being found out by the Attorney General, for heaven's sakes. Right. This is the U.S. coming in saying, hey, do you realize what's going on here? And no. It's driving me crazy. Senator, I love having you on the program. Safe travels back.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Right. We'll be back after this more on the Al Travis Show.